Actor Denise Alexander, a name deeply etched into the hearts of generations of television viewers, especially those who grew up watching daytime television, has died at the age of 85. The news, while only recently made public, reveals that she passed away on March 5, 2 months before fans were officially informed. Her death, though quiet in its announcement, has caused ripples of emotion across the entertainment industry and the dedicated soap opera community that followed her work for decades. Denise Alexander was not just an actress. She was, in many ways, a fixture in the lives of her viewers, someone who felt like family because she came into their homes every day through the television screen. To many, she wasn't just Denise. She was Dr. Leslie Weber. She was Susan Martin. She was a woman who transcended the script she was given and embodied characters with a depth and realism that made them unforgettable. News of her passing was first reported by Variety and Soap Opera Digest, two publications that have long chronicled the journeys of actors in the world of daytime drama. And while her departure from this world occurred weeks earlier, the legacy she left behind continues to grow, as fans and fellow actors reflect on the indelible mark she made. Frank Valentini, the executive producer of General Hospital, took to social media to express his sorrow and pay tribute to Alexander's monumental contributions. Posting on X, he shared words that captured the immense respect the industry held for her. "I am so very sorry to hear of Denise Alexander's passing," he wrote. "She broke barriers on screen and off, portraying Dr. Leslie Weber, one of the first female doctors on daytime television, for nearly 5 decades. His words weren't mere flattery. They were rooted in truth. Denise Alexander helped shape the image of women on daytime television. In an era where female characters were often relegated to passive, decorative roles, Alexander stepped into the shoes of a pioneering, intelligent, compassionate doctor. She was quite literally ahead of her time." Valentini continued. "It meant so much to have her reprise her role in recent years, and I am honored to have had the opportunity to work with her. On behalf of the entire General Hospital family, I extend my heartfelt sympathies to her family, friends, and longtime fans. May she rest in peace." Alexander's impact wasn't confined to General Hospital. She had already built a robust career long before becoming Dr. Leslie Weber. Her love for acting began in the 1950s, and she first graced the stage with a role in the Broadway production of The Children's Hour. The early performance revealed her remarkable ability to capture complex emotions and express them with authenticity, a gift she would refine and carry into the television roles that would later define her. As television grew in popularity in the late 1950s and early 1960s, Alexander transitioned smoothly into the new medium. Her guest appearances on shows like Father Knows Best, The Twilight Zone, and The Danny Kaye Show were memorable not only for her performances but for how she used even limited screen time to make a lasting impression. These appearances opened doors, and soon her path led directly into the world of daytime television, a space that would become her home for the rest of her career. In 1960, she officially joined the world of soap operas with a role in CBS's The Clear Horizon, which was groundbreaking in its own right, being one of the first daytime dramas set in outer space. Although the show itself didn't last long, Alexander's role helped establish her as a compelling performer in the genre. It wasn't long before she moved to NBC's Days of Our Lives, where she was cast as Susan Martin in 1966. For 7 years, she portrayed Susan, bringing nuance and strength to a character who, like so many soap heroines, found herself caught in a whirlwind of love, betrayal, and personal transformation. But it was in 1973 that Denise Alexander would step into the role that would define her legacy, Dr. Leslie Weber on General Hospital. The character wasn't just a doctor, she was a mother, a lover, a friend, and a symbol of perseverance. Her presence on the show coincided with a pivotal time for soap operas, when the genre was evolving to reflect more modern themes and deeper character development. Alexander's performance helped anchor this shift, and her storylines became the emotional core of the show for years. Leslie Weber's life was anything but simple. In one of the show's most unforgettable plotlines, she was part of a complex love triangle with Rick Weber, played by Chris Robinson, and Monica Bard, played by the late Leslie Charleson, who herself passed away earlier this year. These storylines were not just about romance, they were about loyalty, heartbreak, and the difficult choices that define human relationships. Alexander portrayed Leslie with a tenderness that made the character's suffering feel real. When Leslie wept, the audience wept with her. When she fought back, fans cheered her on. One of the most intense arcs involving Leslie was her confession to the murder of David Hamilton, a confession that would ultimately prove to be a heartbreaking act of maternal protection. It was her daughter, Laura, who had actually committed the crime. But Leslie, driven by a fierce, all-consuming love for her child, took the fall. This storyline captivated viewers and showcased the depth of Alexander's acting. She wasn't just reciting lines. She was pouring her soul into them, bringing raw emotion and moral complexity to a genre often dismissed for being melodramatic. For her work on General Hospital, Alexander earned an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Actress in a Daytime Drama Series, a recognition that felt well-deserved to the millions of viewers who watched her day in and day out. Yet, in the unpredictable world of soap operas, even beloved characters aren't safe from dramatic exits. In 1984, to the shock of fans, General Hospital killed off Leslie Weber. But, in true soap opera fashion, she was resurrected in 1996, returning to the show in one of those larger-than-life twists that the genre is known for. It was a moment of joy for fans who had never quite accepted her character's death. It was also a testament to Alexander's enduring popularity. She continued to make appearances on the show for years, with her final one coming in 2021. Her presence always brought with it a wave of nostalgia, a reminder of General Hospital's golden age. Younger actors often spoke of her with reverence, noting how she carried herself with a quiet confidence, a deep professionalism, and a generosity that made working with her a gift. Off-screen, Alexander remained grounded. She spoke openly about the unique relationship soap opera actors have with their fans. In a 1997 interview with The Hour, she shared insights that reflected her understanding of this connection. "It's not necessarily that soap opera breeds bigger stardom than movies do," she said. "It's just that the public feels closer to afternoon stars than to the movie types. After all, we are with them daily and they feel they know us." That quote captures so much of what made Alexander special. She understood that her work wasn't just entertainment, it was companionship. For countless viewers, she was someone they had grown up with, grown old with. Her performances had become interwoven with their own life stories. Some fans watched her while holding babies who would later grow up and watch her themselves. In that way, Denise Alexander became part of the family. She was there during lunch breaks, during hospital stays, during lonely afternoons and joyful reunions. The letters she received from fans weren't superficial. They were filled with personal stories, confessions, gratitude. As she once noted, "You'd be surprised how personal my fan mail is, and I don't mean erotic personal. Our lives on the shows supersede their own lives, become part of their daily living." That phenomenon, of fiction becoming emotionally real, is rare, and Alexander experienced it on a profound level.